Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for this video, I want to go ahead and focus on how to release toxic, manipulative, narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths out of your life, and also how to heal from that very detrimental abuse inflicted upon you, and how to break free from that trauma bond to cut off that emotional attachment that you have towards them. Let's begin. So we have to understand that these people with evilness in their soul, they were sent to us to try to deceive us, to try to break down our spirit, to try to dim our light, and to distract us from God's purpose. So what we need to do is we need to be aware of the energy that we feel around each and every single person. We need to be aware of what kind of energy each person has. We need to test the spirit before we get involved with that person. So as someone who has learned a lot of difficult lessons with dealing with highly narcissistic people, you have to actually test their spirit and feel the energy that you receive. Narcissists, manipulators, and very low vibrational energetic people, they have very negative, dark energy, and you feel that heaviness around them whenever you're around them. It's just very negative, and it just brings your spirit down whenever you're around them. So trust your intuition. Don't trust what you see in the physical realm, which is their smiles and their sweet words and them just trying to tell you things that you want to hear just because they want to try to get something out of you, to take advantage of you. Actually trust that energy that will tell you exactly what kind of person you're dealing with. Sometimes these highly manipulative people will deceive us by love bombing us, by pretending to be an angel of light when in reality they're Satan in itself. They're concealing their inner demons. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna love bomb us by mirroring us, our positive personality traits and our good energy, in order to try to deceive us, to gain our trust, and to gain access to our energy, and to also create this dependency that we have to depend on them in the relationship because they're trying to exert control and power over us. So this trauma bond, it's very toxic. You start to become so attached to that person and you're bonded to them, but you also are aware that they're constantly harming you emotionally, and it's taking a toll on your spirit whenever you interact or you allow that person back into your life. So it's not an easy process to detach and to release them out of your life forever. So they will try to manipulate us with using this polar cycle where at one instance they become very nice and very kind to us and very sweet and loving and very attentive, and they even ask if we need anything, and they'll ask for if we need any favors. So just be aware that this is all pretend. It's part of their manipulative games that they're gonna play with you. But then eventually, other times, they're gonna withhold intentionally, and they're gonna withdraw the attention, the affection, and all that love bombing that they were showing you. They're gonna take it away from you, and then you're gonna see a different side to them, which is very insensitive, cruel, vindictive, mean, cold, and even at times they'll even give you the silent treatment, and they'll ghost you for weeks, and then out of nowhere they'll just show up trying to love bomb you again and trying to pretend to be this very nice person to you because they want to take advantage of you. They want you to become so bonded to them. They want to have you there they want to have you very bonded to them so they can use you. So the intensity of this toxic pattern that they exhibit is also known as intermediate reinforcement. It's very toxic and it's very addictive. It's very similar to an addict who first tries the drug and then they get a very high hit of dopamine, and then once that drug just starts to go down, they start getting the withdrawal symptoms and they start feeling really, really bad. And really bad to the point where they constantly need to try to get more and more and more hit of that dopamine. So they're kind of like just constantly overdoing and jumping over fences and just doing anything just to get that hit of drug again. And it's the same thing with junk food. As soon as someone eats junk food, they get this reward. It hits a reward part of your brain, and it gives you pleasure. But as soon as you start to the food starts to just process, you start to feel really bad and you regret even eating all that junk food that you ate. So once they feel that you're moving away from the relationship, they're gonna automatically switch their fake persona to being super nice, overly attentive, just to try to hoover you back into that toxic relationship. Or if that doesn't work and they're not able to hoover you back and win you over by pretending to be really nice to you, to manipulate you, they're gonna resort to negative manipulative tactics. They're gonna use negative manipulative tactics towards you now. And they're gonna weaponize your emotions. So they're gonna use your emotions to make you feel guilty, to make you feel shameful for ever leaving them, and to make it feel like you owe them something, that you should not be leaving them because you owe them something. They're gonna make you feel like you have a sense of obligation to them. And other times, they even resort to playing the victim. They love playing the victim and acting like, oh, poor me, like, I don't know what I did. I just wanted to be a good person to you, and I want the best for you. And they're gonna lie to you and play the victim as if you're the bad person because you're finally deciding to walk away from their abuse. And they'll make you feel really bad for leaving them, and they'll make it feel like it's all your fault, that the whole relationship went wrong. But most of all, they want you to feel guilty for something that you shouldn't even feel guilty about. So always be aware that this is all just manipulation. And they don't really care. They just want to see if they can continue to have access to you. So what they're doing when they're devaluing us and putting us down is they're trying to train us, program us, brainwash us to think very negative about ourselves, to make us feel like we're not good enough, to make us feel like we're below them. When in reality, the narcissist, the manipulator, and the abusers, they target us because we have a lot of value. We have a lot to offer them, and they don't have a lot to offer us, so they need to play these manipulative games with us to keep us bonded to them, so we can constantly be giving and overdoing and overextending ourselves. So once you cut them out of your life, you're gonna soon realize that all along it was a blessing in disguise. God wanted you to actually get rid of these people, and they constantly hurt you because God is trying to tell you these people are not for you, and they're gonna continuously hurt you even more and more if you continue to hold on to the wrong people, and they're gonna actually bring you down to their level of misery and negativity. So we need to actually cut them out of our life permanently in order to continue to grow and evolve spiritually. It's a very turbulent process as well, breaking free from the trauma bond. Our emotions, it's gonna feel like we're just withdrawing out of a drug, because the relationship is really like an addiction. You become addicted to them, but in a very toxic way. And it's not a healthy connection. It's a very unhealthy, dysfunctional, toxic attachment that you have towards these people, and you're gonna feel like you need them. Like, what are you gonna do without them? Because they constantly were rewarding you, but most of the time they were abusing you. So they have to breadcrumb you to try to keep you stuck in that relationship longer than necessary to just take full advantage of you. So they will never bring anything positive into your life. That's the first thing you constantly need to remind yourself. that people who play these games with you, they're not going to bring anything positive into your life. In fact, they're going to actually bring confusion, bring heartache, bring a lot of negativity into your life. And they're going to bring your spirit down and bring you down along with them. So these type of people who do this to you, they're predators. They're very evil. They don't have good hearts at all. They have bad intentions towards you. And they just want to deplete you from all your energy, your resources. They just want to use you because of your status, and maybe because you're someone who a lot of people like, and they want to just have to make themselves look good near you. So it's all about them at the end of the day. It's not about you. So you need to actually get rid of people who just want to use you. And then whenever you ask for something, always remember this. Whenever you ask them for something, or you needed something from them, they turn their back on you, because they don't care about you. They're only looking in for themselves. This is how evil people are. They don't really care about nurturing and loving you. They only care about what they can benefit off of you. So they start to devalue you. They start to act like you're asking for too much, that you're too much, that you should just be happy with whatever you're given, the breadcrumbs, and that you should lower your standards for them. But remember that they were acting in very unimaginable, abusive ways towards you, and they were being overly critical about you. They were only focusing on your flaws, on your weaknesses. They were constantly exploiting your good nature against you. They were constantly exploiting they were constantly controlling you, telling you how you should feel, invalidating you, gaslighting you, and they want to control everything about you. So get rid of these manipulative people, these Decepticons. And another thing is that you're never going to have a healthy relationship with them, because they don't understand and they don't comprehend what boundaries are. They lack boundaries themselves. So what they're going to do is they're going to form a relationship with you, and they're going to create this codependent, toxic, abusive relationship. You're going to be codependent to them, and they're going to be the abuser, always inflicting and controlling everything about you. And it just creates a very toxic enmeshment in the relationship. There's no interdependence. It's all just one. Both of you guys are just one person together. And they're going to make decisions for you. They're going to tell you, I just want what's best for you. I think this is what you need and this is what you want. They're going to invalidate all your feelings, all your wants and needs, and it's only going to be about what they think you should have, because they believe that both of you think the same way and both of you want the same exact thing in the relationship. So you don't have your own identity. You're not your separate person in that relationship with the manipulator and narcissist and psychopath or sociopath. So our brain, it's equipped for survival. It's equipped to protect us from dangerous and harmful situations, life-threatening situations. And so when we're in these relationships, we feel like we're constantly walking on eggshells, because we don't understand them, their behavior, their emotions towards us. They can just lash out one minute, and then the next moment they're going to be nice and be all loving towards us. So our brain wants to keep us safe. So we constantly want to hold on to just those good memories, those good times, and the times where they were nice to us, because our brain is trying to keep us safe. But what ends up happening is that all those bad memories and all those traumatic things that they did to you and all the pain that they inflicted upon you, it gets stored to your Pandora box. And it's in your unconscious mind now. So what you have to do in order to release all that emotional pain that you're holding on to, you have to make sure that you write every single thing that the manipulator did to you that hurt your feelings and that was very abusive towards you. Write every single thing. Write a story about how everything happened and what they ended up doing to harm you. And after you're done writing that, you can either just hang that list up on somewhere, or just constantly, whenever you feel the need to think about them and only think about the good times, go back to that list and reread exactly what they did to you to harm you, And that's going to remind you exactly why you had to cut them out of your life in the first place, because of what they did to you. It's really good to constantly have that reminder and remind yourself that this person was toxic and abusive towards you and that you deserve better. So they were an energy vampire. They're only looking for their next source of supply. Another good tip is to be mindful. Be mindful of the present moment that you're living in. Don't dwell too much and ruminate about that relationship. Try to focus now on focusing on the present moment. So focus on healing yourself, focus on things that you need to work on in your life that need improvement. Make sure that you also take time to take care of yourself with self-care. So take a walk outside, go out into nature and just get fresh air, and actually take time to just reflect on your life and things that you want to change or anything that you want to do. Also, spend time with a good friend of yours and tell them exactly how you feel. Open up to other people around you that are supportive to you and actually understand your experience, so you don't feel so alone in all this that happened to you. Your brain is sometimes it's going to try to revert back into old patterns and old way of thinking. So you have to be it takes time and it takes practice to retrain your brain to focus on the positive and being more in the present moment. Also, another great tip is to write down all the positive qualities about yourself. Take time to actually give yourself credit and to focus on the good things about yourself. So write down, I'm a highly empathetic person. I'm really good at being this. I love this about me. And just appreciate yourself, because in the relationship, they're constantly telling you everything that's wrong with you. So make sure you write a list of all the things that are just right with you. And understand that the narcissist lied to you most of the time, that everything that they said about you was just a reflection of who they are, and their bad behavior only reflects their inner hatred towards themselves. Manipulators, narcissists, they're highly insecure. They're constantly self-sabotaging themselves daily. They have a very dark, negative inner dialogue about themselves, and they're paranoid. So they're going to want you to feel responsible for the way that they feel about themselves. So once you get out of that relationship, you might still have certain things that you integrated into your belief system that aren't true about yourself. So write down all those positive things about yourself and remind yourself and give yourself the appreciation to value yourself. And another good tip I would say is to watch comedy. Watch uplifting things that are going to uplift your spirit, that are going to make you feel a lot better about yourself. When you watch comedy and you get a good laugh out of it, it's actually releasing dopamine and it's releasing those good feelings. So keep focusing on just things that are going to make you feel a lot more better during those times when you're trying to heal. So watching comedy, taking a walk, and also taking deep breaths, going out to places that make you happy, and just spoiling yourself as well, your brain is going to automatically release dopamine and oxytocin, which are both positive chemicals that make you feel good. So keep uplifting that dopamine in your brain, and move towards good in your life. This bad experience was just a lesson. You don't deserve to dwell and live in the past anymore. So move towards better in your life. Move towards creating better opportunities, creating space for better people who will come into your life and actually value you and love you for who you really are. And they're going to reciprocate back into you. It's going to be both give and take in the relationship. And listen to your body. When your body needs rest, when you need to take some time for yourself, don't ignore it and take care of yourself. Also, eat healthy foods. Eat nutritional foods, because that's going to heal your body, and that's also going to heal your brain when you supplement it with vitamins and you get sunlight and you drink a lot of water. Make sure that you constantly nourishing yourself. And so listen to your intuition. Listen to any sign and that's warning you or making you feel uncomfortable or unsettled when you're around any person. Start to believe the way that you feel, and don't invalidate yourself. Don't gaslight yourself. Don't think that you're maybe just being too judgmental. If you feel like someone's energy is off and you feel like that they're being fake to you, actually trust yourself, because most of the times your intuition is very right, especially when you're a highly intuitive spiritual person. You know that what you feel is true. So be easy on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't shame yourself for someone else's bad behavior. Understand that their bad behavior reflects who they are. It doesn't reflect who you are. And learn how to cut that tie and realize that nothing that they did to you has nothing to do with you. That they're the problem, and let their dysfunctional, negative self, who they are, away from you. Don't allow it to contaminate your beautiful energy. And forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for allowing this person to take so much of you. Forgive yourself for not walking away, and forgive yourself for settling for this horrible person. Be compassionate towards yourself. And share your trauma. Don't be afraid to share exactly what the perpetrator and the predator did to you. The abuser, the manipulator, the narcissist. Don't be afraid to share it and expose what they were doing to you in the darkness. Expose it out into the light. The more that you share and talk about that experience, the more you're going to be able to heal. And you're not going to live in darkness. You should never allow someone's abusive behavior to keep you to keep that stuff in darkness. No, share it with other people and be able to actually talk about your experience. And if someone victim shames you, remind yourself that they're not for you. Someone who's empathetic is going to honestly take your emotions into consideration and understand that your pain is valid, and you're allowed to feel however you feel about that situation that someone else inflicted pain upon you. So be easy on yourself. Cry it out if you need to. Release the pain that you've been holding on to. And just be very compassionate towards yourself in those moments. But go no contact. That's the main thing. Go no contact. Block their number. Block their email. Block any access that they have towards you. Just block it. And if you can't, then just stonewall them, ghost them. Don't give them any of your time, any ounce of your energy, and cut them out of your life completely. That way you can weaken that trauma bond, and eventually that trauma bond starts to it starts to lessen. It's not as strong as it used to be. So practice self-care and live a life of dignity, respect, and freedom. And value yourself most of all. Value your time, your energy. It's a privilege that you give to people. It's not an obligation, and they're not entitled to you. Always remember that. So value yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. Continue to stay true to who you are. Continue to be who you are, and continue to share that beautiful light with the world. Bye.